In a world oversaturated with other people's opinions, what is needed now is more opinions! Alex and the Garbage Man!
I'm such a mark for us. I fucking love that. Every time I fucking smile.
The next intro I do, I'm gonna take that and turn it on its head. So I'm gonna chop it up and I don't know, not put it in reverse exactly, but just mess with it, because that's what you gotta constantly do as an entertainer is change it up. Hey,
yeah,
Chad.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So, how are you on this fine Thursday night?
I'm doing all right. Life is good. Like I said, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I'd be starting keto soon. And I did. I started it last Friday. It's been kind of a rocky start. For those who haven't done it before, definitely do your research, as everyone on the internet says, because I got acid reflux about 3 or 4 days into it. So I had to cut out bacon entirely.
That's upsetting.
It is, because I like bacon and it's got flavor, but it was causing me problems. So I had to stop eating that. And I also had to raise the head of my bed up about 6 inches, because apparently that's what you're supposed to do to combat GERD. So I'm fine. I'm feeling much better now, but it sucks that I got not all this bacon, but I got bacon, and I don't know if I can go back to it now. I don't want to throw it out because I hate to waste food.
Bacon!
Yeah.
That's upsetting. Because bacon is so good. And you're not trying to take any, you can't take any like Tums or Pepto or nothing?
No, I'm not messing with that. Because I want to be all natural, bruh.
Oh, bruh, I'm a vegan. Yeah. So,
hey, it's the redneck.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Thank you for sharing the stream on your Facebook.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate anyone that shares and smashes the like button and does whatever that stuff is people claim we need to do to make people want to watch our shit.
Why anyone would want to do that?
Because we're popular.
Yeah. Or at least we thought we were 20 years ago.
God, boy, were we not at all. Like, not even a little bit. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm pulling a fucking Brody here, and I'm gonna have the hockey game going.
Hey, Sarah.
So, hi.
And she's gonna be our first guest on this show.
At the end of August, she will be.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. With bacon, it's got more trans fat per it's like 50 or 100 grams than it should. And apparently there's no safe intake level for trans fat, which I'm no scientist or nutritionist or biologist or dietitian or blah, blah, blah. So don't listen to me on any of this. Do your own research. But I want that bacon, and I don't think I can have it now. Maybe there are other factors, like with human biology in general. It's not Occam's razor. It's not one thing will change everything. It's always a host of other factors that are at play.
But isn't it amazing when you think and again, okay, so anything we say on the show, folks, if you're new to the show, is total bro science. We should have that on the scroller going at all times. Everything said on the show is total bro science.
That's not a bad idea.
Right? But you think about like how many thousands of years ago, like when we were like cavemen and stuff, like think about how the diet. No, like it's just the Chris Rock bit, of course, right? Like no one in Nicaragua has a fucking lactose intolerance, like that's just, and I know it develops over food allergies and whatnot develop, right? But just to think like even a mere few hundred, well, even go back 100 years. Do you think anyone was like, was bitching about being lactose or needed gluten-free anything? Like, but we're 2021. When was the Great Depression? 31?
Started in 1929.
Oh, okay. So they were eating dirt back then. So, I mean, like,
Please refer to the bottom of the screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, dude, bro science. They were just eating dirt. Dude, they only lived till fucking 17, right?
Yes, that's true.
Right.
There were no old men in that country. What? What?
It sounds like some of these kids would come up with today. So like, yo, bro, back in like, you know, like the 1995s and stuff, like before they had like Twitter and TikTok, bro, all they did was eat dirt. And they actually had to talk to each other. And the internet was on things called books, paper. Bro, I need to tweet about this.
Yeah, all these people had to, yeah. I was going to make a comment about ugly people, and we just had to do them to perpetuate the population. No, I'm not going there.
You know how they do? Yeah, they died. That's what happened. Or they had the poops. Oh man, maybe it's like 1 million ways to die in the West. Have you seen that?
Yes, yes.
When, you know, everyone gets the shits, right? Right? You know, yeah. You know, yeah, nobody knew, right? That is true. And just had to deal with it. But yeah, I bet you everyone had the shits back then. Can you imagine? I bet you no one had a solid bowel movement for like the first fucking few hundred years of fucking human civilization.
That's probably why they didn't live past the age of 30 or 35. And they didn't have archaeologists have discovered very basic toothbrushes from thousands of years ago, but it wasn't common. So
one of those like a rich hoity-toity thing.
Possibly.
Considered, you know, like would be considered to be, yeah.
And I remember Christopher Hitchens talking about people living back then 4,000 or 5,000 years ago who would die of diseases in their teeth and like malformed teeth and gum disease and stuff like that. And yeah, probably bowel obstructions and such. Yeah. And not being able to wrap their wounds properly and not having antibacterial soap or anything. Yeah, they would just drop dead. But apparently men back then, people in general, were tougher than we are now, even though they died at 40.
When do you think was the first time a dude shaved his balls? Like, when do you think a guy was like doing his thing and he was like, you know what? I'm going to see what happens. And then go ahead.
Not when the first razor was invented, but when a razor was invented that wasn't so sharp and so, you know, obstructionist, there were definitely crazy people who tried it back then. I bet someone just cut themselves at the lower abdomen and bled to death. Yeah,
and like, but then imagine the first guy that did it, like got it all cleaned off, and he's like, hey, baby, like this. And there was like, and she was like, oh, and like, voodoo. And it was like, yeah.
So you're implying that it first happened in France.
You know what? Whenever I think about hoity-toity stuff, what always comes to mind is, and I don't even think this is like where Interview with a Vampire happened, but I always think about when I think about rich, like toity, like white wigs and that shit. My mind always goes to France. I know it was in England and all that stuff, but it always goes to France. So they just seem to me like they would be the first ones to fucking think of all this weird shit.
Yes, but the French were and also are extremely intelligent. If you read some of their greatest philosophical minds then and now, and if you watch some of their movies, they can be quite hardcore. I mean, if you watch Martyrs from 2008 or Frontiers from 2003 or High Tension from 2003 or Raw from 2016, there's nothing that's off limits when it comes to cinema for the French. They can go very, very hardcore. They're great. I love French cinema.
But isn't that something that should be implored around the world? Implemented, I guess sorry be the word, because this comes around full circle to conversations we always have about controlling what people watch, or well, not controlling, but making sure your kids aren't watching the wrong things, right? Like the ideas about movies and stuff are you should be paying attention. You try your best to pay attention to what your kids are watching. Like, and that's why we have R ratings, NC-17, X triple, you know what I mean, right? So,
Hmm.
you know, it always blows my mind is when you hear about how much more, like you said it, and you've often heard how like even more hardcore Japanese films are, like their
Some
horror
of them, yeah.
movies. Some of their, yes. So it always, you know, the movie situation always makes me kind of, you know, go, because that's supposed to be something that you should be able to just do whatever the fuck you want on because it's a movie. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. This should go like whenever there's like a paid service, a paid movie. If you don't like, or like anything, like you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, this has been going on for fucking years, right?
Many years.
Many, and it'll never get fixed. It'll never ever get fixed. It'll never change because I remember talking about Netflix, and I don't that because U.S. Netflix is really, really good. Lots of more content on it. Well, this was years ago. And like there's different versions of Netflix around the world because different places have different regulations on what they can show. Right.
Yeah.
So
one moment. Hello, really? How are you doing? Good to see you. You pop up on Frank's stream a lot, and thank you for coming here and spending time with us. Really appreciate it.
No pun intended.
One day, because
holy shit, hey Corey.
He's been really smart, really annoying. Now he's really mysterious. One day he's just going to drop and be really. Hey,
Really?
Corey.
And yeah, it'll just be really.
Yeah, really.
Like, really who? Just really. That's all you got to know is really.
Really?
So,
Really?
did you hear the big deal with hey, shut your whore mouth. I lost my train of thought because I call you a whore. Did you see the big deal that Amazon bought MGM, the movie library?
Whoa.
Amazon Prime? Yeah.
No. Holy shit.
Yep. So watch out Netflix.
Yeah, there are a lot of classic movies from MGM.
Yeah, so they bought the library now, so that'll be on Amazon Prime. So
next is really. Then you're going to add question marks and exclamation points and other grammatical things. Really.
Why is Trevor heading up to Mackenzie?
I guess I'll stop. Yeah, Corey's in like Newfoundland, Labrador, like St. John's area, like on the other side of the country. Guess I'll stop in for a visit. I'll just travel 5,000 kilometers westward.
Yeah. So I guess I'll stop in for a visit, as you would say. Yeah, it was 3-0.
Yes, MGM did start the Bond franchise.
Yeah. Oh, him and Craig. That fucking ogre can go fucking fishing. His feet are finally healed up enough.
Bigfoot good old Craig.
Good old Craig, yeah.
7K. Have you driven that or have you flown that? Holy shit. Must be a nice drive, though.
A long-ass drive. Because, like, it was 3,500 for me from Calgary to Houston, Texas. And that was a fuck of a drive.
Yeah.
So,
that's a big state, Texas, apparently.
Yeah.
Regina's a big enough population and place, but they need the budget. Like the city needs the budget for, and all of a sudden I'm thinking of stadiums and stuff. I don't think they really need that to have an NHL team. But
so my sister just had a stroke there. Yeah, it was Prince Edward Island, not Prince Edward.
Prince
I had the thing there. Oh, Regina. Now the thing is, really, I believe they might stand a chance because they get behind their teams. Like, look at the Saskatchewan Roughriders, right? They have, huge support. So I think it'd be one of those things that they would get, because anyone that's a transplant from Alberta or Saskatchewan, Alberta, I think would go back to. Because they're very loyal to the Saskatchewan team, right? Like the Rough Riders. So I could see a lot of people jumping that way too. I wouldn't be shocked to see more Southern Albertans, and especially down in the Lower Mainland, people jump into the new Seattle hockey team. It's close enough, right? So that's Kim chose. That's the hockey team she chose. So.
This is all Greek to me, so it's all you.
So yeah, he entered a playoff. Yeah, bro really wanted us to do it, and I just forgot about it. Brody had mentioned it, and I forgot all about it. Nice. What do you have in the Toronto-Montreal series, really? So Edge really brings that up. Yeah, we got some things we should talk about. Do you want to get into like the world news?
You mean
Situation?
everything I put in the description that we were not going to talk about? Sure, we'll talk about that.
Oh, we're not talking about it. I misread that. Okay, so we're not going to. I'm gonna. No, oh, we'll go here. I fucked up. Let's go here. So this popped up on Facebook. You guys can see that. But that is Mr. Alex Borrowman. He is playing Dracula. And this was, I can't read the date on that fucking thing.
96, I think.
Thanks, bro. So I was 16.
Yeah.
Alex was 15. It was, me and Alex talked about it beforehand. And usually I figured he had the brains here, but he can't remember a lot of what happened then. I remember sitting,
yeah,
studying
so
lines.
you.
Yeah, studying lines. And then the dinner afterwards. We had a big dinner at the Village Garden after with the whole crew. And I remember it was quite the experience. Yeah, like you said, you don't remember much from it. So you had a pretty big part. So, your focus was just getting all your shit right.
Yeah, because theater, and unfortunately my mind isn't cut out for theater anymore. I mean, memorizing page after page after page and all that dialogue, it's difficult. I mean, doing it as a youngster compared to trying to do it now, the Village Garden, that was a decent place. I don't remember eating there too often, but I remember being there for cadets one time in the basement, and that was pretty cool. Trying to memorize all that dialogue, good Lord. But that's why kids and teenagers, young adults, that's the best time to do stage, because your mind is like a sponge, especially when it comes to learning languages. Do it at a young age. You'll absorb a lot more. But trying to do it now, good Lord, I don't know if I could do it. I haven't had to memorize lines in years. I've got spiels and other throwaway lines that I memorize for my job. But that's just rote. That's just, part of customer service. But with acting, especially acting on stage, that's something you build up an endurance for. It's not like film acting where you can do a scene from the master to the two shot to the close up and then other shots where you can go over the same scene over and over and over again and have hours of break in between while the crew sets up for a different shot, different lighting, etc., etc. It's a lot different, and I don't remember memorizing the lines, but I know I did. And again, it's a tough thing to do. And I remember that shot from the paper. That's a great shot of Graham Rock in the background. I always admired Graham for not just that performance, like that play, but just Graham in general, because he was a brilliant guy from what I knew of him. I didn't really know him, but it's at least somewhat charismatic as well.
Yeah, I wonder whatever happened. Like, I haven't seen him on any social medias or nothing.
Me neither.
So I don't know, like, whatever happened to Graham Rock. I haven't seen nothing. He could just be one of those guys who just doesn't like, I'm getting there really. Fuck, everybody's blowing up my shit. Yeah, I get it. I'm on a show. Stop fucking messaging me.
This is not the hockey show with Nick.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, even now, I hate doing it, but there's just some songs that, like, there's lyrics I just can't remember. Mm-hmm. And again, I said this last week, I'm not comparing myself. I'm not to Metallica and these other bands, but these guys wrote these songs and they can't remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
Or they mess them up on stage. They have the money and the technology to have the lyrics down lower scrolling so they can read them, right? But there's just some I can't get. I think I said this last week, like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. I don't know why. I have no idea. And it's the easiest guitar riff, and my guitarists are like, man, fuck that song. Like, it's... But there's some songs, like, I learned 99 Red Balloons, like the punk version.
Yep.
And the Goldfinger version. I'd never sang it before, but I can do that without looking at a lyric sheet. There are just some songs I can do without a problem. Some I just can't. Just those lyrics just will not stick.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember a single line from that play. And that play was it had to be a good 50 or so pages. Yeah. I thought as a youngster, I would remember at least something from it. Not a thing. But I can't. I don't know that the human brain or my brain, there are some people who can remember everything, but I can't. There are a lot of bits of my childhood that are they're gone. And other parts I'll remember on some days. Other days I have no idea. Things just happen in life. Like all the movies I've seen, I can't recall offhand. However, if I look at my list of movies I've seen, I've got the name and the title. Sometimes I'll take a moment to think about it, and all of a sudden a few images will flash to my mind. And then maybe a few hours later, a few more. So that's I think the difference is as people go on in age, things just fade. You can't do anything about it.
It's funny how you remember things or things that your mind chooses to remember.
Mhm.
It's very interesting. One of the earliest memories I have with you was we were at the BCFP Christmas party at the theater.
Yeah.
And after it was done, I came to your house because we lived on the Chaco just over by Morphe, just over from you. And I came to your house after the thing. Now, why such a random memory? I don't know. But just a random thought that has stayed with me. And like, we had to be 6 years old then.
Yeah.
And that's still there, which is very strange.
One memory that comes to mind when I think of you, and this was when you were still living on Nechako, but it was the last time I saw you there, between there and I want to say high school.
Probably would have been, yep.
Because I don't remember seeing you between that time. I was walking away from your place, and you and a bunch of other friends were in the front yard, and I don't know if it was a tug of war or something, but they were all like holding you back, and I guess I had been asked to leave or something. I don't know, but I just remember walking away and looking back at you, and you and your friends were having a whole bunch of fun, and that's the last time I saw you until high school. And every time I think of you, that memory pops up at some point.
You see, and I remember nothing. Nothing about that.
It's another reason to have friends, so they can remember stuff for you.
But see, I didn't leave Morphe right away. That's when my mom and dad split up.
Yep.
See, that would have been like grade 2, grade 3, because my folks split up around because I think Miss Rutherford, I remember getting in trouble for something pretty bad that I won't say on the air. I actually had to write lines for it. I can't remember, but I don't think my mom and dad were together then. But and then so I was, and I didn't go to Mac until grade 6. So, but all those kids. I see Kathy Schmelsky every once in a while. Corey and Jason Minion doesn't do much Facebook. Michael Schmonsky, I have no idea. Sean Hubert, I see on Facebook.
Oh, Sean Herbert. Yeah.
Herbert,
he has his own vodka distillery. I should pimp that at some point in time.
Yeah, I saw. I should actually order a bottle too. And I'm not a big vodka guy, so
yeah, me neither. Not anymore.
I never was.
And at our parties, I would always start with half and half screwdrivers, like an idiot.
The shit you would drink when you were a kid, right? Just what you would do to your body, and then you just like, holy fuck, right?
Probably give me acid reflux.
Oh, like instantly, especially like orange juice. Orange juice alone, not even with anything in it, just the orange juice.
Yeah, it's too much sugar for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not a diabetic.
Yeah, I'm not drinking. No, I have actually. So for my 40th birthday, my former bass player, Tig, shout out, lives in Calgary now. Him and his fiance, I think they're fiance now. I think close enough. But for my 40th birthday, they bought me a Texas Mickey of Bacardi white
Ooh.
rum. So, oh, I love white rum. So that's my jam right there. And I haven't even popped that yet. I still got half a 40. I think I'm still working on here from another time.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I haven't drank much in the last year, right? So
Yeah, me neither. I had a bottle of London Dry gin for a while that one of our customers had a box of alcohol, and he said, "Here, you guys just divvy it up amongst yourselves." So I took the London Dry gin, and I've been sorry, yeah, go ahead. I had been having an ounce of that every week. But
oh
I'm
yeah.
more of a red wine guy, and I wanted to go to red wine, but it's not really compatible with keto. So we'll see what happens. If I
Hi
have to,
mom.
oh shit, hey,
Ginger ale. Yeah. Ginger ale. Yeah, I love ginger ale. That's my actually right now, the wife got me hooked on it. They have diet cranberry ginger ale. And Kim loves it. And it used to only be available at Christmas. And they have it now. So that's what I've been drinking. Oh, it's really good. And 7 Up and rum's really good too. I really enjoy 7 Up and rum as well.
my dad used to pour, it was either ginger ale or 7 Up into bowls of ice cream, and I still remember what that tastes like. Man, it's good stuff.
That's odd.
It is odd, but it's got a distinct taste, and it brings me back to sleepovers because I remember we had some of that then. And on Really Mysterious, I think at one point on the old show, you asked me to do a review of the 1974 version of The Taking of Pelham 123. I watched it the other day. Fucking excellent. I love Walter Matthau. I said this on the old show as well. That's a great movie. Anyone and everyone should watch that movie. A lot of filmmakers in this day and age, when they want to go back to what apparently real filmmaking was, they look at movies from the 1970s, and that's a good example of why. That is a great movie.
See, and that's it. I think movies go right along with the argument of like best music, best band, best guitarist, best movie. You can't have that because you can't come like. And I have not seen that movie, but to me, like I'm just thinking of like you can't compare the Avengers: Infinity War to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Like,
No.
like I'm just saying, like I know they're different genres, but if you're saying it best, you can't. You can't. Period. Even if you took Star Wars and the Avengers, you can't. I'll still say you can't. The original Star Wars, not the newer ones, because the technology was different.
Yeah, times were different.
Yeah, like way different. So, yeah, I just watched Infinity War. Again, I finished the whole Marvel like cinematic beginning to end. Like I watched them all, and like you said, you're not an Avengers. Like you just watch like the crowd reactions. Even without the crowd reactions, I'm getting goosebumps. Like just thinking about it, I'm getting like that's what movies are supposed to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, Walter Matthau had a lot of really great movies in the 70s. I remember The Odd Couple with Jack Lemmon. That's a great movie. And Grumpy Old Men, classic, modern classic, as Leonard Maltin likes to joke about. Yes, there were a few other Walter Matthau movies that I can't remember offhand, but he was a beast back then. He was great. And especially in The Taking of Pelham 123, he is awesome in there. You should see it.
Frick, I really liked him in Dennis the Menace. He was Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
And here comes my uneducated ass. I like Dennis the Menace. What?
Yeah, Odd Couple is a great movie. I think that's from the late 60s. Cameo in Earthquake. Walter Matthau playing a drunk. Cactus Flower. There's one I haven't heard of.
So is there an actor, Alex, that like everybody is into? I mean, everybody, but most people are really into, and you just look at it and go, I don't get it. I don't. And I'm not saying like, well, maybe I am saying like a Jennifer Aniston or something like that. Like, is there an actor that a lot of people are just into, and you're just like, I don't understand?
I have no idea because I don't follow what people say online, so I don't know. And the general consensus changes from year to year, and sometimes even from month to month. It depends on what happens. Yeah, Bad News Bears. I've got that on my list.
Yes.
And yes,
So,
I remember
okay.
you saying a review for that. Yeah.
I'll rephrase the question.
Thank you.
Is there an actor that you watch and you see in an abundance of movies, and whether or not he's got Academy Awards. And you're just like, man, I've seen a bunch of his movies, and I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of this actor.
No one that comes to mind immediately. Sandra Bullock is really good. She's gotten very good over the years. I've seen, what was it, The Blind Side, the football movie? I haven't seen that yet, but I've seen quite a few things she's done. Gravity was really good.
So Chadney doesn't like Sandra Bullock.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
I think that's what he's saying is he doesn't like Sandra Bullock.
You gotta
me in particular. Yeah. Me? Oh, sorry, that's what you're asking.
Oh, right, go ahead.
No, I don't really. I don't have one that I, aside from not the movie, not so much movie. Oh, sorry, I got to readjust my back. Sorry, actors, but movie premises is what I get. Like, they made the joke in Big Bang Theory when Leonard and Penny went. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but they went to a movie, so they're the main stars. And Penny says, or Leonard really wants to go see this movie it's a documentary. And she's like, well, can we go see the new Jennifer Aniston film's out? And he's like, oh, you mean the Jennifer Aniston film where, she's a single mom and the guy was there in front of her the whole time and she just doesn't see it. And at the very end, she finally sees it. And Penny goes, yeah, and it's starting in 20 minutes. So that's where the movies that just, I know what I like as a movie, so I'm not going to usually waste my time on watching something that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like. Unless I get recommendations, I should watch it. But those are the movies that I'm just like, I don't get the appeal of them. Like all the Christmas movies. I don't watch all those like Hallmark Christmas. I've never watched one.
Yeah, me neither.
But from what most of the guys have told me that watch it because their wives watch them, they're all the same. It's all the same. Like it's basically the same story, just different. There's different elements. Like, oh, he wasn't an architect this time. He's a goldsmith or something like that. You know what I mean? Like this,
yeah.
The dog title's different.
Yeah.
And this time he's the single dad instead of she's the single mom. So that's for me. It's just the genre, I guess, of movie.
Yeah, Chad sums it up like that kind of, I don't know if you want to say genre or overused movie trope, hot garbage. Yeah, I have no interest in seeing the vast majority of Christmas movies. I go on the IMDb quite a bit, and sometimes I'll sort by year because I want to see at least 20 movies from every year from 1920 to the present. I'm slowly getting there just to see how film and storytelling has progressed in a cinematic way over the years. And I read some of the premises and taglines and story outlines, and not for me, but I'll dive into a few of them eventually. And they're mostly pretty good. Again, a lot of movies are just one-time watches. Really Mysterious talks about overrated actors: Marlon Brando, Harrison Ford, Humphrey Bogart, Tom Hanks. Brando, for the time, like back in the early 50s when he broke ground with On the Waterfront, for example, or what was that Tennessee Williams one? That was pretty good. I saw that. Harrison Ford, come on, back in the day, and I'm talking Star Wars. In Indiana Jones was his. Like that could be defined as something that really brought him out. I know Star Wars, but still, in this day and age, like a lot of big name actors, they become names. So Tom Cruise, Harrison Ford, Will Smith, Russell Crowe, people that audiences are comfortable with seeing, and they're big name stars, so they become draws. And then from that you get into movie studio politics and so on and so forth. Meryl Streep, there was that one movie from 1983 that she did. I don't know why I don't remember and I'm sure you've seen it. Really, that was one that really brought her out from behind the shadows. And Silkwood was really good too. That was around the same time. Yeah, outside scenery. Yeah, I could say that about a lot of movies. There are a lot of movies that have really great outside scenery shots, but the movies themselves not worth sitting through.
Now, I don't blame studios for doing this, though. I honestly don't. Because if you're gonna make a shit ton of money on doing it, and these people are just gonna continue watching it, do it till it's like the whole like the mass singer, the mass dancer, the mass lap dancer. You know, like hey, pump them all out now.
Yeah.
Because when the bubble bursts, just like they always do, yeah, you're done, right? So just get the money you can from that shit.
Yeah, it's finding the formula, exploiting it, just wringing the shit out of it until they have to move on to something else.
Unless
7 pounds is pretty good.
Unless you're AC/DC. And they just can keep doing the same shit over and over again. It's been selling since 73, so
Yeah.
right.
Silkwood was 83. Well, shit.
Will Smith. Trying to think. Okay, I mean, I enjoyed, not that it was a masterpiece, I enjoyed the first Men in Black.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got a little silly. But you gotta look at these movies, like a lot of these like Bad Boys. If you went in expecting fucking Schindler's List, like you went in thinking looking for the wrong movie.
Yeah.
You know, I liked iRobot. I thought iRobot was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's happening now. I'm waiting for my freaking Alexa upstairs to grow arms and legs and stab me. So,
Concussion is a really good Will Smith movie, particularly for the story.
Yes. Yep. But it did bug me because my son does play football. And yes, it needed to look at football because, good Lord, like these are big guys hitting each other. But for people to think that the same shit isn't happening.
Hey, Trevor and Craig.
Awesome. For anyone to say that not all sports don't cause concussions is ridiculous. Wild Wild West. How dare you, Jennifer?
You know what? I liked Wild Wild West for its entertainment value and because Kevin Kline is a great actor and so is Kenneth Branagh. Like you got 2 really good supporting actors behind you, but the movie flopped.
Yeah, Again, these are movies. Again, you can't be going in expecting these are just fun movies.
Entertainment, yeah.
Entertainment, yeah. Like if if you're looking for if Martin Scorsese is gonna do a film, we know you were Jennifer.
No, she was serious.
No,
now she's trying to back out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever. Cancel culture. You're just not woke. No. But I've said on the show before, the guy we have and I have a former friend of mine, we don't talk anymore, but he was bitching about the Transformers. It's like, bitch, they're aliens that turn into freaking trucks. Like, what more do you need? What were you expecting? You know?
Blown Away is an awesome movie, and he was great in Under Siege. The Hunted is really good with Benicio del Toro. No Country for Old Men, modern classic.
Awesome.
The Fugitive is a great movie.
The Fugitive is an awesome movie.
Yes.
What the hell did I just? Oh, I just couldn't. He doesn't. And I forgot that he was in it, but he's in the first. Oh God, here comes Buzz Killington. No one said that they didn't suck. But they're fucking robot movies. What did you think? And it's a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, and speaking of Michael Bay, I watched 6 Underground last night, and again, it's a Michael Bay movie. Lots of explosions, lots of camera shots, like crane shots, and lots of cuts. I didn't go into it expecting Scorsese or Akira Kurosawa or anything. It's entertainment. That's all it is.
That's what I was trying to get at, Chad. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is in Captain America. What did I say?
I don't know what you were trying to say about.
But that's what I was trying to say. I forgot Tommy Lee Jones was in Captain America.
Yeah, Robert Redford was as well.
Yes. God. And then when you're watching Infinity Wars and you're just like, you bastard, because you know what happens, and it's like,
now they're going to be going at it in the chat with sports. That's cool. I don't mind being a platform.
Yeah, actually, I just watched the 1990 Turtles, and I still enjoyed it for what it was. You know,
I remember seeing the sequel in the theater.
I saw it in Prince George in the theater,
wow.
And then I remember going to Turtles. Like, Diane got her money for that movie because I remember they had it was like a Saturday afternoon. It was only like $3 to go see Ninja Turtles. And that lineup was still around, down towards fucking Village Garden.
Yeah, wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me. Yeah, another great Robert Redford movie is from 19, I want to say 75, 76. 3 Days of the Condor. I love that movie.
Three
The,
Days of the Condor. Yeah, I've never even heard of
yeah,
that.
The Last Castle was pretty good, really, but towards the end when they brought out the catapult, I'm like, where is this coming from? That lost it for me. Other than that, it's a pretty good movie because I like Gandolfini as well.
Yeah, we don't talk about
But a
the
sequel.
sequels much. Yeah, me and Sarah went with Alan, and my mom. I remember my mom and Auntie Shelley went and saw Silence of the Lambs, and we went to Turtles 2. I'm gonna look. 'Cause I'm not I like movies, but I'm not like you guys. I'm not like a savant of movies. I'm just not.
Yeah, it all depends on where your interests lie. Like I watch on average one new movie I haven't seen every day, sometimes two. But
Yeah, see,
and
I don't
people will
do that.
say, "Well, why are you watching? It's a waste of time." Blah blah blah. It's because this is what I choose to do with my time at this point.
Yeah, I'm.
Watch it
Yes,
again, really.
yeah.
It has implications, and I saw 3 Days of the Condor during the George W. Bush era, and it made a whole lot of sense at that time, and it still has implications for this day and age.
Yes, I do remember the footprints on the pavement. I do remember that. I definitely remember that.
I remember I saw Brody post about The Wire on Facebook, and I haven't seen it, but my other podcast, You Missed It, Andrew talked about how great The Wire was. So Andrew's a smart guy, so I'm going off his recommendation. Watch The Wire. Great TV show.
I've heard nothing but like the guys at work talk about it, that it was great. I haven't really heard a bad word about it. So yeah, if you're into that stuff, but see that you're like movies, I'm like that with games. I like the game.
Yeah.
See, so everyone has their own little quirks and stuff that they like to do to pass their time, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing how you move away from TV though. Like I don't watch a lot of, especially now the end of the season. Like right now, the only like quote unquote, if you wanted to say the old expression, must see TV is Deadliest Catch. I like watching the crab fishers. That's, if I gotta say, yeah, that's my main show to watch right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Redford was good in Decent Proposal. And so was Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is in a whole lot of stuff nowadays, and good for him. He's kind of like Will Smith in that he's got charisma on screen, and he's been on screen for a long, long time. So audiences are used to him. He's a draw. He's a name.
And I know it's low hanging fruit, but I love Natural Born Killers.
Oh my God, yes.
What a great movie.
And do you like it because of the story it tells or because of the way it was edited?
I've never really sat and thought about it, but now now you say that, I'd have to go with like a little bit of both because how different it was. Like when Mickey and Mallory first meet and it's like they got the clapping, the laughing track, and like when they're tripping balls and there's like the Willy Wonka factory almost kind of thing, right? So yeah, I've never thought of it that way, but now you say that, I think it's both. It's both, definitely both. Because it was the story was cool. I forgot Robert Downey was in it till I was listening to a podcast talking about where he got the inspiration for the voice and whatnot. Like, oh yeah, fuck, Downey Jr. was the journalist, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One informs the other. When you have a story as crazy as that, it makes sense that the editing be just as crazy to help move the story along. And if you're a fan of Oliver Stone and you saw JFK, which is my favorite Oliver Stone film, then you get an idea of what his editing style is, or at least was at the time, and not his, but the way it was edited. And Oliver Stone that's Oliver Stone. I mean, he's in control. He's the director.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck, now you said Tarantino. I need to rewatch Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
It's been a long time, and I think I might appreciate it more now that I'm older. I liked it when I first saw it. And I can't even claim to be one of those guys. I saw Reservoir Dogs before Pulp Fiction. Never even heard of it. So, Um,
Better than, would I say that Natural Born Killers is better than Scarface? I think, I think we're kind of getting into that comparing Schindler's List with Marvel movies territory, you know?
I was gonna say because it's different cinematography, different shooting, different. It's hard. Now, if you wanted to have an argument, just sort of interject like this, he asked you, but I'll shut up here about listen a sec. If you want to say like Godfather or Scarface, I could see that.
Mm.
That'd be closer, or Godfather, like Goodfellas and Scarface. But to me, to compare Natural Born Killers and Scarface, it's one of those ones you're getting near that edge where you're kind of like, I don't know, right? Like, but
Yeah.
I will shut up now. So
Yeah, most movies that I watch, they're one-time viewing, so I don't remember a whole lot of them. And like you were saying earlier with regards to memories and how you remember things, sometimes it's very different, your memory, as opposed to what actually happened. And this goes to our show last week with regards to May Long. Some things happened that I remember being somewhat or quite different. True Romance. Oh, that's a great movie.
that's a great movie. Well, it's kind of like I said when we were gonna watch Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm like Colin, this is gonna be the funniest movie you've ever seen, dude. And like we got into it, and it's just like we got to the part just after the one Wayans is like the crash test dummy, and it was just after that Colin's like, this is stupid, Dad. I'm like, okay, we need to turn it off. Because I was like, oh, I'll agree with that. I like Goodfellas better than Casino. Both excellent movies, but I liked Goodfellas more than Casino.
I remember more scenes and lines from Goodfellas than I do from Casino. That's not to say Casino was just a one-off, whatever. It's still a really good movie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Did you ever watch, speaking of Tarantino, and did you ever watch the Splatterhouse movies, the newer ones that he did with Richard Ramirez, or not Ramirez, Richard Rodriguez?
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't see them. Are they good? Are they good?
They're entertaining.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Biodome. That was annoying to me then, and it's annoying now.
Of course, I heard that Kids in the Hall are reuniting.
Cash grab?
Fuck, let it be a cash grab. Hopefully the reuniting is good. That's always the fear when they reboot something like this, that it's not going to be as good. That's always my worry. Once there was this kid who took a trip to Singapore and brought along his spray paint, and when he finally came back, he had cane marks all over his bottom. The fucking video. The video when I was going.
I love The Truman Show. Not only when I saw it, but I watched it again a few years ago, and there's so much more to it than simply what it presents. You know, in terms of surveillance and watching people, and fuck, there was, I think it was Collative Learning. I think Rob Ager of Collative Learning, great YouTube channel. He talked about The Truman Show having a lot more messages than what you see initially. Yeah, I love that movie. That's a great movie.
I enjoyed the movie, but I like Jim Carrey's the stupid stuff, like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Oh, him and Jeff Daniels.
Yep.
Yes. Like just the two of them together was, I mean, yeah! Did they win? Woo!
Habs won.
Most depressing. I will do you one better. Let me make sure. Okay. about depressing. By Suzuki. Okay. To me, the most depressing song ever is by Peter Katz. It's called The Fence, the Matthew Shepard song. Matthew Shepard was a young gay man who was beaten and left for dead hanging against a fence. And
yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah. And just like once you read this, like I have the song, so I should delete it because I don't listen to it anymore because I read the story. I'm like, I can't even, like, once you read the story about what happened to this kid and then you listen to the lyrics of the song, you're just like, oh. So it's heartbreaking.
There was a movie, I think from 1999 or somewhere in that time period, starring Hilary Swank called Boys Don't Cry.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie is reminiscent of that song, somewhat similar in terms of what happened to the people in those little bits of entertainment. Well,
that's the beauty of our fucking show, is that everything just goes crazy.
Jan Arden's great.
Yes, she doesn't get enough credit. My mom loves her. She says the show is her show is hilarious. But so let's bring it back to positive. Like said earlier, Jennifer said earlier, like her favorite Carrie movie is Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah, it was funny. And my favorite part of the movie was when they're in the grocery store, and he's like got the fucking vaginal cream. When he turns to Hank, he's like, "Oh, what's the matter? Little cheese on the taco?" Right in front of her children too. A little cheese on a taco.
I remember the one scene I remember from that movie was when he wakes up in the hotel room and he goes to the bathroom and he starts pissing all over the place.
Yeah, he's like, "Why am I peeing like I had sex last night?"
Yeah.
Why is my ass sore? The fucking dildo.
Oh man, that would have to be. I would have to probe my brain for that because it's usually a first time listening that would bring on that kind of emotion.
I just listened to it today and I don't know why. Sorry, I don't know. Then I'm going to give the one and it hit me today. I don't know why. Because I honestly didn't know my grandfather's. It's I Wish Grandpa's Never Died by Riley Green. I was crying like a moron in the truck today. I'm like, why am I crying? What was the other?
Good Mother is a great song.
Actually, one now, it doesn't make me cry. But when I lost a friend last year, I didn't even know she was gone. And she was a girlfriend. I'd always kind of had a crush on her. And a song it doesn't make me cry, but it really makes me think about her now is Here's Looking at You, Kid by the Gaslight Anthem.
Okay.
I think it's an amazing song. It's can you put that up? I think you guys should check, honestly, to steal the phrase from the old show, check that out. The Gaslight Anthem. Here's Looking at You, Kid. Oh, what a song. And just, he's from New Jersey and he could hear the Jersey in him. And I think he's definitely, okay, before Brody shits himself, he's not a Bruce Springsteen, but he's definitely got that like storytelling style. I find like very Jersey. So, by the Cavaliers, much better, and I prefer their version much more than the Pearl Jam version. Yeah, because you knew it wasn't long after that was done. Johnny was gone, right? Like Johnny was gone not too long after that.
Here's one that comes to mind for me, and this is of its particular time, and it's got a really good music video to it. And it's because of the overall I think you have to watch the music video to get the full effect. At least that's what brings tears to my eyes when I watch that music video. Because in this day and age, we see a lot more negativity and hate than we do love and respect. This is what started the free hugs campaign, was one man and his free hugs idea.
And you know, it's amazing what a human emotion, what something like joy, I guess it'd be joy. Like I'm trying to think of the joy part now. Like, and it's so silly, like what the emotion, like wrestling can bring out, like for a guy like me. I remember when Stone Cold returned to fight Bischoff in Montreal. And you know, Bischoff's in the ring cutting a promo saying, "Steve, there's still time and I'll forfeit." And that glass, like goosebumps already. The glass smashes. That crowd goes fucking insane. Mm-hmm. And then when he comes around that corner, you can hear them go up a whole nother octave. That's how, like, I'm just boost bumped. And that's one of those things you can feel the tears. Kind of like you said at the end game, like listening to the crowd cheer. Yeah. It's like, I'm not sad, but like, this is amazing. It's amazing the human emotion, you know?
Yes.
Right? The human. Oh, that one's bad. That Supermarket Flowers. I can't listen to it. And I, thank goodness, have all my parents, but I can't listen to that song. I absolutely can't. Yeah, because of Eddie, and that's Eddie Guerrero, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, that's it's amazing the emotions that music can bring out. You know, it's not that this is, I don't know how to put this, but I like a lot of the music my dad likes, and I'm wondering what's going to happen when it does come to that time. Like, are you going to be able to listen to that stuff anymore? Right? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. You don't know. You can speculate now, but you don't know until it happens.
Yeah, and you don't know like where hooks are, like, and it sounds so silly to say, but the hooks in your brain are from these music and movies, like where it all is. It's just like, you know, yeah, and it's funny, you know, enough. It's weird the way Gord passed. I don't know how you took it, really. I'm pretty sure you say Brody was upset. I was super upset. Yeah, I cry for that song too. It's so bad. But when Gord died, I was legitimately upset. And it's, you know, and people say, well, he was just a musician. And like, you're correct. But for some reason, he still has me. As you can tell by my wall. He still has me. They just released an album. It was made around Brody told me this. It was made around the time of Road Apples. It's called Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah.
It's an awesome album. It's only like a 6-song cut. I think it sounds awesome. It's old trad. It's old hip.
Nice.
I fucking love it. So I loved it. Yeah, see, it was awesome. That's what we're talking. If you're talking about that album, Brody, I like it. I really like it because it's old. It's trad that I haven't heard, and it sounds like old trad. So.
Yeah.
And that was the thing with how private, you know, Rush was. Like, I mean, Brody knew because he was a hardcore Rush fan. I didn't know Neil was sick. I had never seen anything that he was sick. I had no idea. And then just gone. That's insane to think. Yeah, just, you know, it's just like gone. Huh. This did take a dark turn.
Yeah, and with Tom Petty, that I believe the news of that came the same day as the Las Vegas shooting. It was like right in the same 24-hour time span, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and that did come out of nowhere.
Did you know the song Don't Come Around Here No More by Tom Petty was written by the gentleman, can't think of his name right now, who was in the band with Annie Lennox and the Eurythmics? It's a song about, well, that lyric is from that line. Stevie Nicks said it to Joel Walsh when he showed up at her door, coked out of his head, and the Eurythmics guy was in Stevie Nicks' bed. And he heard Stevie Nicks say, "Don't come around here no more." So that's where the title of that song came from.
Now, here's something that I myself can't answer, but I'll pose it to you anyway. I don't know if I've asked you before. Better female voice, Annie Lennox or Stevie Nicks?
Oh, Annie Lennox.
Really?
I love Stevie. I love the presentation of Stevie Nicks. The gypsy, the whole thing with Stevie. With Annie Lennox, it's the different notes. You know what I mean? I love Home for a Rest. That's such a great song. I just think Annie Lennox, because like she did all the harmonizing and stuff for like Lord of the Rings. So I'm thinking the vocal range.
Okay.
Now, for image, it's Stevie all day. When you're getting blow done up your ass and stuff like that, you're a fucking rock star. That was the rumor that her nose was so shot she did it up her ass. So that's bro science though. Disclaimer, bro science. Annie, okay, come on, Brody. Joe Jett.
Well, you know.
I got to add that to my favorites right now before I forget again. I actually heard that song when I came out of the hospital. When I came home, that was the first song I heard on the radio. I was like, oh, that's kind of fitting. And that's my favorite playlist. Yeah, see, there, I guess, yeah. There it is. See, there's somebody. There's Brody, the weird,
The contrarian.
Yep. Now that's your favorite voice. That's fair enough. No, he didn't ask me what my favorite voice was.
No, I asked between those
two.
Yeah.
So, a favorite female. I really like Sarah Blackwood. I think the shit she's been like. She did some stuff with Volbeat. So I like her. Like, and she's with Walk Off the Earth. She's the female singer for Walk Off the Earth. I don't know if you've heard the radio hits.
Probably.
But voice. See, and now, who is Annie Lennox?
He's trolling. He's got, okay, Tucker. Okay, let's move on.
Are you wearing your bow tie tonight? Someone's salty because his team lost? Who is Annie? It's called Who's Alice.
No,
you do not know who Annie Lennox is.
Annie Lennox
Get
of the
the
Eurythmics.
fuck out of here.
Come on. You know who Annie Lennox is.
If you don't know who Annie Lennox is, you should be ashamed of yourself. Mr. My favorite movies from 1979. I don't know who the fuck Annie Lennox is.
1977.
I don't give a fuck. It's before you were born. And then you're okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? You don't know Sweet Dreams by Annie Lennox. The Eurythmics? Good Lord.
Well, that's your homework, Brody. Annie Lennox and Eurythmics. Greatest
just Eurythmics.
Hits. YouTube.
Just go to the greatest hits. Would I lie to you? Now would I say something that wasn't true? Yeah. Actually, so the songs off those two of the albums I like that, they were on the greatest hits, but people don't hear of is Sex Crime. I really enjoy by the Eurythmics, and Who's That Girl? It's a really good tune. Yeah. But that if you were to check out the greatest hits album, yeah, it's really, really good. Oh, listen.
What the fuck?
Hey, Terrence, I farted just now. Yeah.
Oh, we howled in the movie theater when we saw South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. I remember I was sitting with Kadar. We were losing it.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Little Bird's a good tune, too. Yeah, Brody, you've never seen Striptease? Oh, okay. Yeah, Little Bird. That's a striptease and Striptease. There's a good Burt Reynolds movie. Why are you glistening? I'm covered in Vaseline.
I can feel it between my toes.
What did Ving Rhames call himself?
Oh,
what the fuck did he call himself? Come on, someone, before I have to look it up. Oh, Ving Rhames. What did he call himself? It's such a stupid freaking name too. And they're like, oh, there's what's his. It was. Oh, and I gotta look because it's gonna bug the crap out of me. You don't remember when she's dancing in front of the mirror to that song? Good Lord.
Mm.
Well, then again, I guess he is a young man. Yeah, I can't remember what he says. Oh, what is Sarah? What did Ving Rhames call himself? I'm trying to find the I can't even. Of course, Ryan. Talk about not getting an Oscar. There's a snub.
Ryan recommended to me, and this was back in drama class, a really good movie. I think I said this already, Broadcast News. And it's still a good movie. I watched it about 2 years ago. Really good movie. And I watched it at the time you recommended it too. I got to be having an episode of Alzheimer's because I swear I said that already.
Sperm Pet Home.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the music in particular either. It was more Demi.
No, it wasn't Shad. He said his name. It was something ridiculous. Like it was like a little white boy or something. There was like, oh, Tom Cruise or something. It was, it's going to bug the crap out of me.
Spotlight from 2013 with Mark Ruffalo.
No, never heard of it.
Fucking awesome. You have to see that movie. That movie is incredibly good.
Fucking tell me what to do.
Do it. Okay. Do it now.
Wait, isn't Mark Ruffalo the Hulk?
Yes.
Oh. Yes. I'm looking this up because it's really going to bug me. There's Striptease too. Oh, it's 1977. I don't think Demi's in that one.
No.
Oh, amazing movie. Talk about stuff. Do you usually have like things on IMDb that say like lines, like funny lines?
Yeah, it would be in there.
Or quotes. There it is.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not as funny. Yeah, she says, "Who are you, Amy Grant?" No, I'm Barbara Bush. Chico to Shad. Who are you, George Bush? Oh, I thought it was funnier.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Because I didn't get ticket. Wait, did I? No, I'm busy because I got a show to do. I have commitments. The fuck do you want?
Yeah.
I'm busy. What do you want?
Come into my room.
Like, go to your room and shut up. You're not going. Hello, Yolanda. What the fuck do you do to yourself, dummy? Oh, I had to work for 4 hours and now I'm gimpy and whoa, it's me. Oh shit, that's all live.
This is a show in and of itself. This is awesome. You're going to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frank talked about Twister in their favorite 90s movies on The Harsh Truth.
Are you drunk? Seriously, Prince. And I was like, hi, cover. Hey, Cohen. Auntie says hi, cover.
New nickname?
Yeah, hi, cover. I don't know. I think Auntie's drunk.
I mean, like, it wouldn't really surprise me.
Your nephew thinks you're drunk.
Yeah,
Come show Auntie Sarah your Sideshow Bob hair. Auntie Sarah, check this shit out. Look at that mop.
That's pretty good.
That is a mop. Hey, because your girlfriend's here tonight, we don't got to listen to your shitty music? Because that means you're going to be in the shower for like 5 minutes? Bro.
Leave me alone, man.
I worked a whole 4 hours today, Dad. God.
Oh,
no. Oh, Auntie Sarah just said, cover. Run! Whoa, hi guys. Well, fuck, we're still in the air. Jesus.
The way you interact with Cohen, is that in any way reminiscent of the way your dad interacted with you at the same age? Wow.
No.
Was he more strict with you?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, what
Well,
he's a two-face because I remember him being cool.
No, don't get it twisted. I was allowed to do stuff, like I was allowed to party, and I was allowed to, like, you know, I had a pretty good I also have a broken leg. So yes, I am only working 4 hours and then doing an hour and a half of physio a day. And I have a broken leg while recovering leg. No, my dad was cool as shit. It just, he was strict. Like, I didn't have a curfew or nothing. And, you know, we banter back and forth a little bit. Nothing like this. I was never home.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we were never home, right? So.
Now, would you, looking back on it now, would you say that the majority of time that you were not home was because you didn't want to spend time with your dad, meaning you wanted to spend more time with friends, or was there something else?
No, more time with friends.
All right.
Yeah, and really, like, during the week, like, my dad, he's never slept good. He's got really bad shoulders and bad knees, like no cartilage, so he doesn't sleep well.
Oh.
And he never ever really had. So, yeah, that was a problem. So he you know, get home from work, he'd be tired. So,
yeah.
Do you want to keep going for a little while longer?
Absolutely. If you want to.
I need to go to the washroom. I have to go to the washroom. So
then go.
Carry on.
Go right there in your pants.
Ew.
Like an astronaut, put on some diapers and shit. Jeez, and it's just me now. Well, the show is going a lot better than I thought it would because I immediately crossed out in the description all the topics that we were not going to cover. So what did that leave us with? Well, more personalized stuff like this, which is great. Where darks? What are darks? Now, I'm not up on what the kids are talking about these days with their lingo and shit. I'm going to recommend a movie since I watch movies all the time. For today, for example, I watched Battle Los Angeles from 2011. Pretty good movie. I like the military / war movies of today, of this day and age, a lot more than the past. Although I got to say, A Bridge Too Far, great war movie. But with regards to military style movies of the day, I like the shaky cam and the moving camera. Like Peter Berg, for example, great director. A lot of the movies that he does are shaky cam and handy cam. Like Deepwater Horizon, which is a great movie. He also did another one in 2016 called Patriots Day. Great movie. He did Friday Night Lights in 2005. A lot of shaky cam. Great movie. Reviewed it for the You Missed It podcast. That was Jack's pick. You can find You Missed It on SoundCloud. We got a Facebook page. We got a YouTube page, Twitter, Instagram. We haven't been active for a good 5 months, 5.5. I don't know why. I'm ready to do another episode when they are, but for whatever reason, it's not happening. Yeah, I haven't seen the TV show Brody, but I've heard it's good. I think Jack said it was really good.
Whew.
Wear darks for long shows. Jim Ross, hey?
You know, he's not wrong. He's right. Maybe. Oh, goodness gracious.
Now, with regards to coffee, Ryan, I don't remember you ever being a coffee guy. Do you drink coffee now? Because I do. And the reason I do is because my girlfriend loves coffee.
Lavaton was a coffee guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I never remember him.
He was into weird coffees. I'm pretty sure he was into like espressos and all that kind of shit too. So, yeah. I think, so now I have to ask you a question. Now we're back and I'm going to backtrack. So what was your relationship like with your dad at like 16, 17?
It was a lot better than it was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, 5, 6, even 10, 11 years old, I was, and this, from my recollection, I was annoying. I was loud. I was a hellraiser. I was not a good kid. Like me now, trying to deal with me back then, I myself would have been yelling at that kid all the time. Again, and I've said this before, I understand why my mom got gray and then white hair in her 30s and her 40s. And again, I'm still so sorry for that to this day and age. When I was 16, 17, I was a bit more mellow, not spending a lot of time in the house, but with dad, yeah, it was pretty cool. Because dad in the 80s and at least part of the 90s, he was at the mill a lot. So he wasn't home a lot of the time. And I remember him saying in recent years that he regrets doing all that overtime because he didn't need to. Like, we were doing pretty well financially, like no debts and such. So we were doing very well. He regrets not spending more time at home with his family. And I can understand why he would say that, because there's all that time is gone and he's not getting it back. Like time he could have spent with me or with mom or just being at home in general. It's all gone.
Yeah. And I know that because I missed the first 5 years more or less of Cohen's life between the oil field and long hauling. And he remembers that. Like I remember he was like 6 or 7 and said to me, he's like, "Hey Dad, do you remember when, you weren't around and it was just me and Mom?" And like that like ripped my guts out, right? Like,
yeah.
So we don't spend a lot of time together now, but it's also the age, of course. Like that is, but when we do spend time together, it is fun. We do bust each other's balls pretty good. And I know that it'll turn it around if, when he's living near me, that, we'll spend more time together again. Now, of course, as a kid, he wants to go have fun and, and he will, and he'll go off and have his fun, but he'll come back around where he'll be like, I know, have coffee with Dad or something. Right. So, yeah. So, yeah, trucking was, I missed a lot. I missed like I said, for the oil field, at least I was home every 15 days for 7 days. But for long hauling, I was gone for almost 2 years. And I was home for like a day.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
Yeah. So fuck that. But God bless you truckers that are doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
God bless you truckers. So. And it is, it is hard. And it's kind of the shitty thing with the way the world is now, just even make ends meet. A lot of guys have to work those higher paying jobs, like so that, but you got to think though, like with Ben, my brother-in-law, and with Brody being gone too. And I know Sarah works a little and I'm not sure how much, Joe works. I honestly don't know, but with these dads, sacrificing what they do is so moms can be home more.
Yes, and making that money. Yep.
But that is the big thing I think that a lot of society is lacking today is the parent at home.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of it is you can't afford it
that's right.
And it's a sad state because we for the most part always had like my stepmom was always home for the most part. So.
Yeah, so you have that stability.
Yeah. And I think that's really lacking a lot these days. A lot.
Yeah. One of my uncles, my mom's brother, back in Prince Albert, he got a job in some mine in northern Saskatchewan. And this was years ago. I'm talking, I want to say late 90s, early 2000s he got this job. And he's retired now. And he's in his, I want to say early to mid 60s. So he's got 2 kids. One of them is a teenager going off to college, I think next year. And the other one, the younger kid, who is almost the spitting image of me. It's weird and it's scary, but it's interesting. That kid's got to be 7 or 8 or maybe even 9 now. Like he would do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And he did that for years and years, and he had to do that. And it's hard. I would imagine it's hard because he's not there all the time. He is there for a significant amount of time, but it's not consistent 5 days, 7 days a week.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I think that's sorely lacking these days is, just the lack of household, and I think it's affected society in a big way.
Yeah, there's a lot that it can affect the mind of a kid, especially when both parents are not around, when one parent is not around. And sometimes it builds up in the subconscious, and then kids will act out and they don't know why, but it's in the subconscious, and you can't readily accessible, like have ready access to those thoughts and feelings. And kids can't explain it either. It sucks, but sometimes that's what happens. Yeah, now you can't afford for because everything is so high and the jobs are so low paying. This is why one parent has to go off and make a bunch of money but not be home. Like, there's a disconnect here that has to be addressed.
And did you see? Now, I wish I would have saved some of these pictures, but there's McDonald's in the States that are offering like their employees a free iPhone as long as they work there for 6 months. Well, but that's the thing. Because no one can work and live off their shit wages.
Yeah.
That's why, dude. And people are finally like thinking like, well, fuck, if I'm not going to make money, if I'm going to make scraps and barely get by, why not be on all the government assistance? If I'm going to be living in poverty anyways, why the fuck would I be busting my balls getting yelled at by some asshole making a minimum wage?
Yeah. Walmart employees come to mind immediately.
Yes, which is disgusting.
Yes.
Oh, there's the kitty. They're done with the Bruno. Bruno, he's like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Fuck it, I'm out.
The Walton family that owns Walmart, disgustingly rich, and they pay their employees a pittance. I think it's below minimum wage. I
think it's something stupid. Like, and again, you're going to quote Jesse Ventura? Brr. But I think he said, like, it's disgusting how Walmart in the United States is one of the highest. They pay tons of tax breaks, pay their employees minimum or below minimum wage, but yet their employees are one of the highest users of food stamps.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
How can people not look at that and go, this is really fucked up? You go tell that kitten to shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Jolene, that could also apply to Newfoundland because there are a whole lot of Newfies that go up to the oil rigs in Alberta
now,
as well. Yeah, so same thing. Yeah. It's you go where the money is.
And I mean, but then I will also say with some families, especially if you're living in Newfoundland, move your family out here.
It's not always the easiest thing to do. It's easy to tell people you don't like it, move, but moving is not easy and not cheap.
Oh, I know. I moved 14 hours away. So did you, right? So
yeah, even if you do it yourself, it's still time consuming and stressful.
Most definitely.
And it's not cheap.
Yeah, it is. It is most definitely. Yeah. So because I moved 14 hours away from everything. And I mean, it was the best decision, to make. Thank fuck I left when I did because the mills died shortly after.
I was going to say, looking back on it now, hindsight being what it is, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a home run on my part. Because, I was just about to... Hey! Shut the fuck up! Oh, hi.
I want to mention something quickly. Sarah is talking about wives having support systems. There was a short documentary on women and wives in Mackenzie, and this is from like the late 70s, early 80s. It's on YouTube. You can find it. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a fascinating look into women in Mackenzie whose husbands are away at their jobs, and what do they do? How do they keep themselves busy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that's why Sarah moved back to Prince George. I mean, Sarah lived here for a little while, and it just I couldn't give her the family love, I guess I could say. Like I couldn't be there because especially with the job that I had, because I was on the high working for Volker.
Yeah.
So during winters, like I'm not around.
Yeah.
So
no place for a woman. Yeah, that's a a title for something. Oh, that's what it's called. What am I talking about? Jesus.
Oh, I'm like, I need context. And I'm like, Ryan, you're gonna get fucking cut, dude. And I'm like, there it is. Like, there. Hey.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a good little documentary. I want to say it's a good 45 minutes long, but it's worth watching, especially if you're from Mackenzie. It's a little bit of history.
I love that place. I did. It's changed so much.
Yeah.
It's, but that's life in general, right? Everything changes.
Yeah, everything changes. Like you said, you're not the same person you were 20 years ago.
No.
On a mental state or at a cellular level.
For sure. So
before we go, do you know who Tess Holliday is?
Do I know what?
Tess Holliday. Have you heard that name?
Tess Holliday. No.
Okay. So Tess Holliday is a person of size. I don't know if that's the acceptable politically correct term or not, but for better or worse, that's...
Oh, is she a plus size model?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And recently, I think it was an Instagram post that she made that she said she is battling or currently has anorexia. I think it's anorexia nervosa. And it could be probably better classified, instead of using anorexia, an eating disorder, which would, I think, be a lot more accurate, but it's up to her what she wants to call it or what she's been diagnosed as. But person of size has anorexia. What is your take on that? That's a sick plea for my entertainment. That's sick.
I hope she gets the help that she needs.
She is, yeah. But she's also very accepting. You running a zoo over there or what?
Chewbacca's a fucking moron. I don't know what's going on up there. But is that what it really... I don't understand. I can't properly comment on it because I would have to read about it.
All right.
Right? But if you want the entertainment value, I'm going to say, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a plus size model. Like, are you sure there's actually not... Well, because I don't want to get in trouble as a person who is also fat-assed. I get the struggle, but I don't understand. I don't understand how a person who is that big... I'd have to see how big she is. I'm just I'm curious. What's her name?
Tess Holliday.
Oh, please shut the fuck up.
See, I myself can't comment on such a thing because I'm a thin white guy, so my opinion is not valid on this at all whatsoever. But you're a little different. Well, if that's shaming, I apologize. But
no, that's see, I hate not the way you said, but I hate that these people, not that, like, it's not what you said. It's these people that will go on and say, like, well, I can't believe, I've struggled in this. And like, you know what? I'm fucking 41 years old. I have been tons of fun for 30 plus years. I did this to myself. Now to sit here and to be like, oh, well, I just want to be this. I want to be accepted. Well, but you got to be able to sit there and look at yourself and go, you want to know what? I did this to myself. And I have the tools. I know how to make myself better. I know how to make myself better, my body better.
Yeah.
Okay? But I like KFC. I like A&W. I like fat foods. Guess what? But I also enjoy working out. I love lifting weights. I love working out. But I love eating like shit.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I try not to eat as much shit as I used to. Like, Nick from 10 years ago would have eaten a large pizza by himself without even blinking. Now, this Nick is like orders a medium pizza and will only eat like 4 slices out of it and then puts it away. So but I'm still shouldn't be eating pizza, right? You know what I mean? Like, I still shouldn't be eating it.
I'm sure you do love Five Guys, Brody, at the same time.
All over your face and lower back.
And Chad, you're getting canceled for that one. Not by us, but by someone in the future.
But okay. And I'm not marking out to myself. I'm again a big guy. Chad has said to me that a lot of people become attracted to me because it's my verbose attitude and like my I can't remember how Chad said it, just the way I am in general. Like, I don't know if it's like I don't give a fuck. I'm myself. I own what I am, right? And I think that becomes a lot of problems. And I've been like this for a long. And actually, it sounds simple. What happened? What helped me was listening to Bubba the Love Sponge back in like 2007 and 8. And he was a big dude with a hot wife, and he just like, I don't care what the fuck you think about me. And that attitude just really stuck with me. Like, you know what? I don't give a fuck either what people think about me. Right? But I don't understand, like, because I just, maybe it's me assuming, but you're saying that anorexia, and she's a big girl. Like, she's a big lady. Like,
I would say he's large and in charge. Yeah.
Magnetic personality. Thanks, Chad. You know what? She's got a pretty face. She's not like, but again, people can't judge unless they've lived her. And that's so I only want to talk about this just a smidgen. Okay. Yeah. About the restrictions being lifted. Just a smidge. So this was released in Alberta. They released the timeline. And just the vile comments underneath of it. Like you blah, 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 blah. Just how about gay, finally? Just to give a thumbs up, let's move on and see what happens. But no. And we're sitting here, been bullshitting for an hour and 35 minutes, but every asshole out there needs to fucking and it's just like, no one cares what you think. Right? So, but just like, let this girl, like, I can just imagine what the comments are saying about this girl.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's why I had to say I would have to, but when I saw her, I'm like, I can't, and I get that, Jolene, but then there has to be a different term for that. For especially a person, it is, maybe the act is the same, but what if it's called like, I don't know, I even know what word you could use for a bigger person with anorexia, but there should be like a different word, right? Like, she's FAT, I'm PHAT. Right.
Yeah, bulimia is more binge and purge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I hope, it sucks that that 35, she's finally like, she's a good looking girl. She actually kind of looks a little like Adele in the face, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. She's 35, so it sucks that it took her that long to love herself and to be like, what, fuck, I don't care what anyone thinks. But I mean, it took me 28 years to figure out, like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I am that guy that, like, if someone's staring at me at the pool and I don't have a shirt, I'm like, yeah, those are some fucking titties, aren't they? Like, I am that guy. Whatever, dude. I hope she, finds happiness and feels better for, Yeah. Well, so not only did Adele get shamed, but didn't Jenny, the girl that was in Melissa McCarthy, didn't she get shamed too for losing weight? That's why her show got canceled or something like that.
I don't know about the show getting canceled, but yeah, both she and Adele took heat for
losing weight. And no, did what's her name? The girl from the bigger girl that now is skinny from Pitch Perfect. Rebel Wilson. Did Rebel Wilson take a bunch of shit too?
I think so.
Like yeah. Like why are they're taking shit for getting healthy?
Well, that's part of the argument of the people who are criticizing them. It's something to do with our society promoting thinness and healthy people.
And we're supposed to. I should not be 300 pounds. I shouldn't be this big. It is not healthy.
Jolene makes a point, yeah. But anorexia, and this goes back to changing definitions over time. Anorexia is usually due to lack of eating. And I don't know that Tess, then again, I don't know if Tess is doing the same thing, like lack of eating. But yeah, I guess it just depends on the definition of the word being used. Jonah Hill lost a whole lot, yeah.
But he took shit too, because there was a picture of him when he didn't have a shirt on, and people were bugging him. Are you fucking kidding? Like but I saw something on, it might have even been Twitter or something, or it was on Facebook or online, something about like there's not even that many people on Twitter. Like that use Twitter at a regular basis. Like I gotta find that now. Hold on, let me see.
There are a lot of bot accounts on Twitter, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there have got to be millions of users. Like that's a lot of people, millions of users.
That's what I thought too. I don't want that.
Are you trying to make a larger point with regards to vocal minorities?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at, because like this is always the problem. So it's those voices of, and always people always say the joke of like, the guys that sit at home and do nothing and blah blah blah. Like those are the jokes. Like the real guys are out working. Like people with real lives don't have time to sit on Twitter for fucking 8 to 9 hours a day. I know I don't.
Yeah.
Like there are times when I talk to Chad on the phone when I'm at work and in the garbage truck. I actually slow down because I'm talking more, so I'm not completely focused on my job. So I slow down a bit, right? Yeah. So I couldn't imagine these people that are on Twitter. So it's from night. So people asked, 21% of adults in the U.S. use Twitter. This percentage stayed relatively steady over the past few years, with a bit of a drop in 2019 and 19%. This makes Twitter 6th in terms of U.S. Population use. More Americans use Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, and LinkedIn.
How to live their lives, Brody, not love. You don't want to tell anyone how to love their lives. You want to criticize. Yeah. You want to bring the hate.
You want to criticize, chastise, and manipulate.
21% of the U.S. population, if the U.S. population is 350 million, that is 73.5 million people use Twitter in the United States alone. That is a gigantic number of people. I'll never get a Twitter. And people are going to say, well, you said that about Facebook. Yes, I know, but I realized with Facebook, in order to get in touch with some people, that was the place to go.
It's very easy. Yeah.
Yeah. But with Twitter, I have nothing of interest to say in 140 or 280 characters. But I do on YouTube and Facebook.
I have Twitter, but yeah, I don't. I really don't use it. Like once in a while, I'll tweet something, but I mean, like it's like once a month, if that. Like if that. So.
And is that just to troll people or what?
No, it's like one of the podcasts I listened to, they had a pretty funny moment, and I actually messaged the host of the show, and I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, I can't remember the line was. He actually liked it, so I was like, ooh. So, and then me and Colin were at a wrestling event for WWE, and we each had Kevin Owens t-shirts on, and we got a picture of us taken, and I tagged Kevin Owens in, and he liked it. So that was kind of cool, right? But
yeah, for that kind of interaction,
Yeah.
it's useful to have it.
so
Oh, Reddit. Oh, I have heard terrible things about Reddit, but then again, I've seen a lot of Reddit posts that are very informative. So Reddit, just like the majority of the internet is what it is. It's on how you use it.
I mean, and it comes back a Reddit kind of like Wikipedia. Can you believe what the fuck you're reading on Wikipedia? Like, you don't know.
When it's edited by anyone, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that you're like, okay. That's why I like those shows on YouTube where they like sit guys down and ask them questions off Wikipedia to see if they're true or not. And when they debunk them, I'm like, no, like, where do they come up with this shit?
Yeah.
Right? So, we really need to start doing is picking like a song to give people. I like doing that.
Well, if you're saying it's the end of the show, that's when we usually do that.
Yeah, but even a movie, like you should like, God, I want to watch more movies, but I just don't want to.
Yeah, Reddit does get kind of dark sometimes. It depends on what the topic is. If you're talking about a person, yeah, it can kind of get dark. I have many movies that I could recommend, but my taste in movies is quite varied as opposed to, say, yours or Riley's or even Brody's. So what I might recommend would or could be a waste of time,
Yeah, that is true. True, I guess.
Actually, we were speaking of Canadians a little while ago, Jan Arden and so on. There's a movie from 2015 directed by Paul Gross. Paul Gross played the lead in the TV show Due South, and he also directed a movie in 2006 called Passchendaele. I didn't like that movie. That movie was like washing yourself in patriotism. It's kind of like, it's silly. It's like Wind Talkers, or it's like We Were Soldiers. It's just that overly patriotic bullshit, like getting up out of the trenches and running in slow motion and somehow dodging all the bullets that are flying at you in no man's land. Real out of the woods shit like that. So I'm not recommending Passchendaele, but Paul Gross was the director of a Canadian movie in 2015 called Hyena Road. It's pretty good. If you like war movies, and this one is based in...
Oh, there it is right there.
I think it's Afghanistan, Canadian troops in Afghanistan. It's pretty good. Men with Brooms. That was Paul Gross's directorial debut, was Men with Brooms. I've never seen the movie, but I guess it's a curling movie.
It is a curling movie. A Canadian movie? I don't even know.
Did you ever see Fubar?
Yes. That is
it's a Canadian movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
There's another Canadian movie I'm going to recommend, and I love this movie. If you're into horror or suspense movies, it's from 2008. It's called Pontypool.
Pontypool.
Good movie. It's got Canada's own Stephen McHattie, great actor.
Yeah.
Where can I watch? I have no idea. It's on Netflix. I ain't saying
legally.
nothing.
I ain't saying shit. You don't worry about it. Dig around. You'll find it. It's got to be on Netflix or something.
Rob, another dementia moment. Gord Downey makes a cameo appearance in a movie that we on the You Missed It podcast reviewed. It's called 1 Week with Josh. Can't remember his last name.
It's been 1 week that the birthday. Chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. That's how it goes, right?
Yes.
Nailed it.
1 Week. Yeah, 1 Week's a great movie. That's a good Canadian movie. All Canadians should see it.
No, I don't want to.
Then you're not Canadian. By my standards that I made up for myself, you're not Canadian. Yeah.
You're fucking canceled, bro. Just look right now. Like, I haven't hit like any of these movies. Just looking up like Canadian movies.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd the frick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
And that goes back to our kind of title, which is Alex and the Garbage Man Do America. A lot of what we consume in terms of entertainment, world news, sometimes even our opinions, American based. Growing up in Mackenzie, NBC, ABC, Cairo News in Seattle.
Cairo, yeah, the
Yeah,
King 5.
King 5 in
Yeah.
Seattle as well. Yeah, like a whole lot of American stuff. TBS, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to know what? Because A&E or A&E, AEW is going to TBS, and that's where him. Like, we don't have TBS, and that was a staple, like TBS. Hey May, if you're still watching, tell Reese Uncle Nick had Bastetti for dinner too. He did. I had Bastetti. What a simpler time, man, when you could watch the news and you believed what they said.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's better nowadays that we are more critical and not simply absorbing of what we hear. I saw a clip today of Joe Rogan's podcast when he had Neil deGrasse Tyson on.
Mm-hmm.
So the latest clip from Neil deGrasse Tyson's latest appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, Neil was going into why it's important to be critical in science. And there was an example he gave with regards to Neptune being described as going off of its usual course. And I can't remember the explanation exactly, but Neil's point was, in science, people are extremely critical to even the smallest degree. And we ourselves in this day and age, we have to be that way. I love the way he talks and thinks in that particular clip, because it's so important to not simply believe everything you hear, because yellow journalism has been around for at least 100 years, if not more. And it's been distorting our perception of history ever since. And we have to think, we have to not blindly accept. And again, this goes back to the anti-vax and the people who are questioning the lockdowns and all those kinds of people questioning everything. And this began in the Bush administration, and it's going on to this day. And there's nothing wrong with questioning everything. But with some stuff, I mean, come on. You know, I couldn't even give an example at this point.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah. Do you think, like, they're still trying to treat people like it's like that old man when you caught like your grandpa or your grandma doing something, like you caught they're like, nope, didn't happen, no, and you're like, I just watched you do that. What the hell? And they are almost like a child, like the government is, and they're like, no, we didn't do that, and you're just like, motherfucker, we know we've watched it. Nope, all right, Tabo. And they're just and that's when you'll get the people, like, they do something to change it, just to change the narrative or whatever, so that they're not focusing on that, right? It's those false flags, like they say.
Yeah.
Like, oh, people are looking here right now. We're gonna do this over here right now, and right, like,
yeah, divert attention, red herring, that kind of thing.
And sometimes it's not hard to believe that shit when you're like, well, that's fucking convenient.
Yeah, preconceived notions and such. Yeah.
Oh, the animals are coming down here. What do you want? Go away.
Hungry.
They have food. Mom's upstairs. She'll feed them. Well, are we bro scienced out for one episode?
I think so.
I think so. Now I gotta, because I made this at the comment and I wasn't even ready to fucking go. Fucking God. Ooh. Actually, because I heard the older version and I downloaded the new version. If you haven't heard it in a long time, Love Roller Coaster by Red Hot Chili Peppers off the Beavis and Butthead Do America soundtrack.
I can hear the chorus right now.
Yeah, they're like with the kazoos in the background. I love it. So and it's funny because I had to totally obtain this version legally, and it even put the proper Beavis and Butthead and movie soundtrack on it. All right, what do you got for me?
Ooh,
something that's like.
Yeah, I'll give you a brutal slamming death
That
metal
fucking
name.
hurt.
This is an actual death metal band name.
All right.
Vaginal penetration of an amaryllis with a musty carrot.
Vaginal. See if they're even on YouTube. No, I got wasted Mogatard asshole penetration. Wow. Wait, vaginal penetration with an amnius. Yeah, these don't have any on YouTube. That's upsetting. Okay, it's all right. Whoa.
Okay.
Can I copy and paste it? That is fucking phenomenal. Cohen! Come, you gotta come see this shit, dude. Put your pants on. That is amazing.
They are on Spotify, Sarah says.
Well, I can find them. Give me a Sarah's comment.
All right. The cat wants to hear it too.
He's not coming on here. Vaginal. I'm like having like Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're like, from the depths of hell.
Yeah, I don't think they're on Apple Music, Brody. It'd be interesting if they were. I don't have Apple Music, so I don't care.
No, it's like the artist is there, but there's nothing. Yeah, something went wrong. Dude, come read the name of this band that Alex just told me to check out.
Bro, is it this long pain in the ass name to?
Yeah.
Come see the name of this band that my buddy told me to check out.
Dude, what the hell are you listening to? Yeah.
That's
Dude, that's some.
that is the name of the band.
How did that happen? Of course, Auntie knows they're on Spotify, though, right?
No, she looked it up.
Oh, I thought she knew.
Hi, kids. Yeah, so that's Yolanda. That's Cohen. Say hi.
Hi.
That's not amazing.
That's
Vaginal penetration. What was my favorite one? Oh, pit bulls in the nursery.
Yes.
That's my favorite one. Pit bulls in the nursery. So yeah, that's a good show.
You missed it, Sarah. Oh well, he knows. He knows you said hi.
So what's the name of the song? Because Sarah just sent. Oh my God, it's V. Maybe that's how I got to look it up. Because Sarah's is VXPXOXAXAXWXAXMXC.
Wow.
Because I think it's edited, right? They don't put it all on.
Yeah, that they would get flagged for.
Yeah, so let me. I'm gonna type it like that. Jesus Christ. V X P X O X A X W X A X A MXC. That was an awesome show. You remember NXC with Kenny Blankenship, the Chinese show where they did dubbed over the bad English?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh God, you need to look up some MXC. MXC, I believe it was called. Yeah. So, anyways, wrap this shit up while I look for this.
Well, we're going. This is the end of the show. We've been going for an hour 54, longest show we've done. Flew by for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
Shit, yeah, Dave.
Sarah, Brody, Chad, the Redneck, Jolene. Thank you so much for being here with us.
My mom.
The vast majority of the time. Yet your mom was here. Or someone here.
It didn't work.
Really mysterious. Thank you very much. I appreciate you checking in with us because you're on Frank's stream so often. There was someone else who was here. Jen. How I can't forget Jen. I apologize, Jen. If you're still here. If you're not, thank you so much for checking in.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks, like 7 guys that stuck, 7 people that stuck for the whole time. That's awesome. It's a good show. Yeah, I remember when bands were, called The Band.
The Band. Brody had a good little bit on that on the old show. So, yeah. We'll be back next week.
Smell my finger! MXC, you got to watch. I can't remember what Cohen called them. Cohen called them something very inappropriate. And I was like, Cohen. So
going. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, thanks really for showing up. Appreciate it. That was a
That's all
gooder.
good. You were here.
Yeah, boy.
It's more than we can ask for.
Right.
So with regards to America, and I'm not really saying anything bad. I couldn't say anything more bad about America than, say, TJ Kirk or Paul Zigo could say about America, because they're American and they have every right to do that. But I will leave you all with this.